napkins. Should be enough. Make sure you put this back in the bag as soon as possible. You don't want to get this spoiled. You don't want it to go bad at all, actually. We'll get to the garlic later. For now, we'll just chop up the onions. You want to make sure you mince them up as good as you can. The smaller the pieces, the more juice you get out of the onion, the more flavor you can get into the meat. Both the burgers, meat, and any leftover meat that you're not using for burgers. So whenever I make the, I think it's 3 pounds. Yeah, 3 pounds of ground turkey. Now you can use beef and stuff, but I've swapped turkey since it's a little bit healthier. It doesn't taste half bad. Alright. Okay. That's enough. When you're done chopping the onions, they should look... Make sure your countertop is clean, by the way, too. They should look something like this when you're done chopping them up. If you have any long pieces, you can just go and easily just chop them up. Or, leave them like that, because it's not too much of an issue if they are a little bit longer. But anyway, I'll just chop them from now, just to give you guys a little peace of mind for those who probably are like, oh my gosh, why am I not chopping those? I got it. Okay. Now, we take our garlic. So it depends on how much meat you have to cook, or how much you're cooking, or how much flavor you want. So since this is 3 pounds, normally what I do is I'll take about 3, maybe 4 of these like little buds. You want to peel them off like this, and to make sure you take off all this like stuff right here. Okay. So I'll do this. There's a lot of prep. When it comes to when I cook, I haven't even turned on the oven yet. Well, the stove, but eventually we'll get to that. And there's a certain way that you want to cut these, or at least chop these up. Now you don't want to immediately cut them. What you want to do, I'll show you after I finally get this stuff off of this one. Okay, there we go. So now what you want to do is you want to take the flat edge of the knife and you want to squash them. So, yeah, you want to squash these things like this. That way, more of the juices come out of the garlic to make the flavor a bit better. Now there's other ways, but this is the way I do it. Now you cut these. There we go. There. Throw the rest of this stuff in the trash. Now we can actually get to the meat. This is the kind of meat that I'm using right here. Right here. So yeah. This is what we're going to be working with. Sorry, this is what I'm going to be working with. Make sure you clean. Make sure you have your countertops and your stove clean. Okay. Different pans. Right here, that one right there is going to be for meat that I will be using in burritos, and this one right here is what I'll be using for burgers. Because I will cook the meat all together. I do not like letting any of it stay alone. So. Make sure you cut the meat like this. That way you have a little bit more of an idea of how much you need. Now what you want to do is you want to take this, you could easily cook it like it is, or you can do what I'm about to do. That would be just slightly dab it in these. And then come over here. mix it into the meat like this. At this point, this is where we're going to want to turn these on. Turn this one on as well. You're going to want to keep your vents on so that way it doesn't smoke up the entire house. So now I'm going to do this with another 3 burgers. Sometimes there will be more on the burger than you actually need, so make sure you keep them around the same size. That way they can fit all in the same pan. You want to keep the flame a little low while you're making the other burgers. The other one can heat up a bit for the rest of the meat, so it can catch up to all the burgers. Go. There's our burgers. Now the rest of it. Works out on this one here. Now, make sure that you have been making the burgers with your hands, like I have, and you weren't wearing like any plastic gloves or anything. Wash their hands before you pick up the spatula. Grab yourself like a paper towel, that way any grease that comes off, you can wipe it up immediately. You do not want grease getting on the countertop and drying it. Alright, now we can turn this up a tiny bit. Don't want it up too much, otherwise it will cook it a little too much, it will burn it and stuff, so yeah, just make sure you have it nice. Now you guys get to see an overhead view. Grab yourself a spatula. right here, you're going to want to start dicing up the meat. So now, I'm gonna come over and grab yourself a spoon. Now, I sometimes use A1 sauce for my burgers, but you don't have to. You can be different and use something else, as long as it's something that belongs on a burger. So this is what you want to do. You're not putting it in the spoon. You're going to want it slightly down. Like that. Like that. And then you take your spoon, start rubbing it into the meat. Like this. Now you don't have to do this. You don't need to use the garlic, you don't need to use the onion like this, and you don't need to use the A1 sauce or barbecue sauce or whatever you're using. Like I am. No, you could just use plain old ground beef and not turkey. But I'm making it slightly healthier, because let's be honest, this is definitely not super healthy, but it'll be good enough. So you're going to want to put your A1 sauce back over immediately, because that's all you're going to need it for. We'll get to this stuff later. Alright. Now, while every now and then, I'll be coming over there, cooking up the burgers and stuff. Okay, we're gonna need pickles for the burgers. So, I'll grab this. Let's see here. That looks decent. I'm gonna cut up another one because I need more pickles for my sandwiches that I'll be making throughout the week. If you want a video on that, let me know down in the comments below. Pickles, you might want to try to cut them as thin as you can to get more out of it. I would just recommend cutting them like this. Normally I use about maybe 2 or 3 of these pickle slices per burger, and for the sandwiches, since they're pretty long, I end up using about, say, 3 to 4 of these pickle slices. You're going to want to store these in a container so that they do not go bad and are just, you don't want to put them in a baggie. Let's just be honest here. That should be good enough. I'll dice up the other pickle when you guys are looking over here. You want to keep a constant eye on the meat so that it doesn't burn or stick up at the bottom of the pan. As soon as it starts to look like it's getting cooked over here to a good degree, that's when you put your onions and garlic that have been diced up into the pan with it. For the burgers, you want to make sure you constantly press down. If anything, I think they've been on this side for long enough. So what we're going to do, we're going to flip. Let the side with the sauce start to cook. One of them got a little crisp. A couple of them got a couple crisps. But if anything, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. Could be worse. Alright. Keep slicing and dicing this up. I'll be back. I'm going to cut up the other pickle and then we'll begin. Back. You do not want to keep this part or this part on the edge of the pan because it could end up melting the plastic or wood, depending on what kind of special you have. If it's a full metal one, I would still recommend not doing it because it can end up getting extremely hot and burn your hand. Make sure that you're actively cleaning up. There. This is a good enough time. Let's just slice these all over. All the juices. Onion, garlic, and meat. Now, the burgers should be done quite soon. This, however, still is missing one thing. Which I forgot to order, but it's taco seasoning. However, since I do not have any right now, and I forgot to buy some, well, forgot to ask for some, we'll be just using the onions and the garlic right now. So. So, if anything, this is how everything should start to look. You don't want any pink, because if there's pink, that means it's not cooked, and if it's not cooked, well, it's like trying to avoid getting sick. While you're waiting, you can quickly try to wash this off. But up to you, and if you think you fast enough. Also, I have my little mini chef right over here. Say hello, baby. Say hello. Yeah. Jade's my little mini chef today. If anything, the burger's actually coming close to being done. Make sure you get all the juices off the bottom of the pan onto the burgers so you have less of a cleanup. I'm going to turn it down. Grab yourself a plate. Come over here. Now, with how long this video already is, I'm going to potentially have to make a second part, which I do not mind. So, if I need to, see you in the next part. But if I don't, guess you have. the chance of watching me just cook. All right. Burger buns. Sliced cheese. This is the cheese that I use. You can use any other cheese you